All right, Dolphins, Patriots. Patriots favored 1.5 points. It's in New England. 36.5 points is the over-under, and I'm going to keep it real with you. I still like the under. 36.5 points is a lot for this Dolphins team right now to score, and a lot for this Patriots team right now to score. Dolphins, though, they're super underpowered. Jalen Phillips put on IR this week with a knee injury. Bradley Chubb already out for this one. Not a lot walking through that door for this Dolphins team. Offensive line issues. No Tua Tagovailoa. Other side, though, Patriots, their wide receivers have only 54 yards after the catch this entire season, the lowest of anyone in the NFL by
in
far.
Total?
Kind of insane. This is just...
That's unpatriotic.
We don't even need to go through the tail of the tape. It's more just like, who's watching this outside of Miami?
We got to get those Minutemen to put their rifles down and go help the cause. Maybe go play some receiver out there.
The Dolphins at this point, if say they shut down Tua for the season, and they very well may, right? Like that's an option at this point, even if doctor says two more weeks. I don't see if 2 more weeks, and especially traveling to New England, I like the Patriots in this one. They at least have pieces somewhere that I love. And it's like the best pieces on Miami are these wide receivers, but when you have no one that can hit them, they kind of just are decoys. There's nothing. They're not impacting the game, unfortunately, and the Patriots have a good secondary. The Patriots have a great defensive line. They're going to cause a lot of problems for this Dolphins offense, whereas on the flip side, Dolphins can't stop the run if the Patriots want to just pound it down the throat. So I think that's the difference, and I think Patriots win. I like the under, and I think if you're the Dolphins, you're like seriously they're seriously on track for like a number 1, number 2 overall pick at this point. Unfortunately, that's just what they look like.
I agree. You got to sit Tua down. You got to do what's best for your team and what's best for Tua, and not in that order. And doing what's best for Tua will eventually benefit this team. You get a higher draft pick. You get what you want, what you need. But at the end of the day, this football game comes down to the New England Patriots defensive secondary having their eyes right. And I think when you look at last week's game, without Tua, you're looking at Snoop Huntley in the offense, and Tyreek was saying, you better strike up the band. It's going to be a big one. Then you watch the game. It's an archaic offense. It looked like they were just stuck in the mud. I really think this week Mike McDaniel will have some stuff, gadget plays schemed up, some reverses, getting your guy Snoop Huntley in space with the football, not just standing back there and double pumping in the pocket every time. So you got to be on your P's and Q's if you're the New England Patriots. You cannot allow huge plays.
It does blow my mind that the Dolphins, with one of the fastest receiving corps in NFL history, have, without a doubt, the weakest arm quarterback room in the NFL. Between Tua, between Skylar Thompson, between Snoop Huntley. Like, if any of those guys could throw it 60 yards on an NFL field right now, I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Like, why not just toss a Joe Milton in there? Like, why not just, like, take any guy who
somebody
can
with a rocket launcher attached?
It's like, maybe you score once, but... Yeah, the Dolphins right now, here's the question I want to ask. Should worst case scenario happen, again, they shut down Tua, just like it goes the way we've seen. They're the first team since the 2017 Browns to not lead through 4 games. They haven't led once. Whew. If it goes that route and they get, say, top 3 pick, do you draft a quarterback in next year's draft? And I think there will be, I'll just say from what I've seen right now, I think there will be a couple guys. So I like Cam Ward. I like Shadur Sanders.
Cam Ward in that offense. Shadur Sanders is going to throw his offensive line into the bus every week. Pass.
Quinn Ewers.
How about you sell some Louis bags and buy some O linemen? How about that? How's that for a business plan?
But just say there's a guy there who is
Cam Ward. Give me a Cam Ward.
Okay, so let's say there is. Are we taking him and pass?
I'm taking a quarterback that can quite literally take the top off of any defense. And you got to have somebody with top-end arm talent. We've seen around the league, the best guys are the guys with top-end arm talent who, when the mesh concept isn't there, but you've got that deep over, somebody can split a cover 2 safety, throw it over a man defender and drop it in the bucket. That's what you need in the league. You need that. Obviously, you need the guy to make the intermediate throws, make the right reads, slight adjustments, hot routes. But at the end of the day, this is still a physical skill-based game. And if you don't have the skill of throwing the football at an elite level, we don't need you on our roster. We don't need you on our roster.
All right. Yeah,
You're drafting.
I'm drafting a quarterback.
Yeah.
So you can't ignore the concussions at this point. That was one of the weakest hits I've seen produce defensive response. It's like you're repeating that. It's like, that is terrifying to me if I'm just like, even if he gets a full clearance of play, that like any small, whatever routine hit can result in your season going down the drain yet again.
So I had a computer one time, like one of these big wide monitor computers, and it has one of those HDMI cables that goes in the back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sometimes when you adjust the monitor, the cable falls out.
Okay.
And the longer you have that cable and monitor, the more it falls out. This is kind of like the Tua situation.
It's kind of like Tua's brain.
You know, even if you like bump the table a little bit, the thing will fall out. And unfortunately, we are talking about his brain, but that's the reality of the situation. The more concussions, the more apt you are to have these concussions, the more sensitive your brain is to the effects of a concussion. And you see the fencing response immediately after a hit like that. And you know,
that was
when
honestly,
I'm talking about the drafting a quarterback.
That was honestly probably
I'm not even taking into account the concussions. I'm just saying from a pure performance standpoint, from the throws that I have seen not get there on the deep balls, you need a guy who can get it to you. And I know Mike McDaniel would be a lot happier with a quarterback who could throw it down the field. And it's unfortunate that we have to talk about this right now with Tua being where he is physically. But that's the NFL. It's not for long. What have you done for me lately? And who's up next?
No joke. That was an incredible analogy. I think that was a very apt analogy for kind of how
the monitor.
Yeah, I honestly think it kind of is.